Hello, and welcome to another video. So this is going to be quick today. I think it's going to be quick. I just want to talk to you from this very important point, okay? I think my glasses are still tinted because I just came from outside. I want to talk to you from this very important point, but I think it's going to be quick. What are some things that you can do before the age of 25 aside from worrying about a man? Okay. Now, what I wanted to do is sit here and tell you all of the things that I wish that I wouldn't have done before the age of 25. But instead of doing that, instead of being such a negative Nancy, you know what I'm going to do? I want to say some of the things that I want you to focus on before that time. Am I saying that you shouldn't be in preparation to get married if that's what you want? I'm not saying that. I have videos for you on those things. I will be sure to link them. However, if you focus so much on when you're going to get a man and not some of the very important other things in life, when the right mate comes along, you very well may not be ready, and you might not get the fullness out of the mate when the mate finally does arrive. And I just don't want that to be you. I don't want you to be, and can I say that even if you are past 25 and you still haven't done some of these things and you're not married yet, even if you are married, but I'm speaking specifically to the people who want to get married, they're younger and you don't even have a candidate, but that's all you're worried about. I want to talk to you about some things that I wish that I would have known before I had gotten married, and some things that I wish I would have focused on. So without further ado, let's get started with today's video. Now, this doesn't really have anything to do with this, but I want to say, first of all, when I was preparing this video, what I got in my spirit was, I never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging for bread. And like I said, this doesn't apply to this, so I'm not sure why the Holy Spirit gave it to me, but I'm going to repeat it at the front part of this video. I want you to know that I've never seen the righteous forsaken. I've never seen the righteous forsaken. What does that mean? I've never seen a person in right standing with God forsaken or his seed begging for bread. So you're not going to want for anything. So I guess that gives me my first thing that I want to talk about that I actually don't have here on my little list. And that is the first thing that you need to be focused on is your relationship with God, because everything else might fail. I got a video uploading for you right now, child. You can see the look on my face is a little heavy. Okay. Everyone else might fail you. Everything else might fail you. But I've never seen the righteous forsaken. I've never seen God fail me. I've never seen God fail people who follow him. So the first thing I want you to do before you focus on anything else, how you're trying to focus on these men and these relationships and even friendships, even family relationships. I want you to begin to cultivate your relationship with God like that, because at the end of the day, when you lay your head on the pillow at night, he all you got. I know you might actually have somebody laying next to you. Somebody who shouldn't be laying next to you might be laying next to you. But at the end of the day, when everybody is sleeping, he's all that you have. I want to start this video by saying that. The next thing that I want to say is the greatest commandment, okay? Jesus actually said that this commandment that I'm about to tell you is the precipice on which all of the other commandments were built. Okay. And that is love the Lord your God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. So that brings me to my very first point, because in order for you to love anyone else, we talk about marriage, we talk about relationships, in order for you to even be able to comprehend some of the depths that you're going to have to go to love another person, you must first know what love looks like for you. You must first understand even how God loves you to even be able to just on a small level comprehend. People do crazy stuff. People do crazy stuff. People do stuff to hurt you. Sometimes intentionally, sometimes not intentionally, to get back up and to love and forgive them, which is a command. You're going to have to understand life deeper than, oh, he looked cute. Oh, I'm so cute. You know what I mean? And that is a command. That's a command to love your neighbor as yourself. And even the partners, maybe your potential partners, whoever, we're going to see them as our neighbor. You're commanded to love them like you love yourself. So if you don't love yourself, it's going to present some very real problems. So let's get into my first point. And that is, who are you? And what has shaped the way that you think is the first thing that I want you to think about before, like I said, before the age of 25. Girl, there's so many times that you should be thinking about this. But if you're not married, like I said, this video before the age of 25, instead of worrying about men, you could be thinking about this. Who are you and what has shaped the way that you think? Like I said, if I'm trying to love someone else, but I don't even know how to love myself, problems are going to arise. Because if I understand some of the crazy things that I've done and how God still loves me and how I still need love, like how I still am worthy of love, even though I've done some crazy things, if I can't understand that for myself, I won't be able to extend that for another person. I won't be able to extend that to another man who might very well do some crazy things that in that moment I don't think he's worthy of love. But that's not the way that marriages flourish. So I know it's easy to be on the outside looking in and say, oh, I just want to get married. Oh, I just can't wait to get married. But the groundwork must be done, or getting married might not end in you staying married. Okay. So like I said, who are you and what has shaped the way that you think? Take a look. And I'm not telling you to go back in your childhood, girl, and start crying about everything. That's not what I'm saying. But some of the things that happened to you back there shape the way that you think about things now. Some of the things that happened to you back there contribute to the way that you even treat people now. And some of those things very well need to be dismantled. Some of those things need to be expounded upon. When I was very young, I know people used to take advantage of this from the time I was young. I used to always be very giving. I remember giving out Skittles one time. And I gave out all of my Skittles and left like a Skittle for me. It was my Skittles. I used my money to buy the Skittles and I gave all the Skittles away and I just had one Skittle for myself. And it wasn't even the flavor that I liked. So this very giving aspect of me, this grace to give, that's what I'm gonna call it, because sometimes I too can look at people and be like, I ain't giving them nothing. I ain't doing it. But God has graced me to give. Okay, this is my free time. I really want to be playing my Nintendo Switch right now. I really want to be playing Animal Crossing, not gonna lie. But I just feel compelled to give back to you in this way. So you know what I mean? Some things need to be dismantled. Some things need to be expanded upon. And the best way for you to get those things is to go back and get those things. You might not have been able to get them while you were there, but you can go back and you can get them. Okay, you can see what it was like. A lot of time, the place that you had the greatest pain, that you were in the greatest stress, it's because someone saw something in you that you were too young to see in yourself. Go back and get your stuff. Go back and get your stuff, baby. Okay, so who are you and what has shaped the way that you think? Let's move to the next one. All right, here's the next one. Here, listen to me. Don't you get mad. Don't do that. What do you lack? What do you lack? And have you learned how to function with that lack? Now, Tansmy, are you telling me to be dysfunctional? I'm not. But there's a place in me that I don't have all strong attributes. Some of them I'm a bit weak. Okay. And the places I'm a bit weak, I have learned to take up on the strength of the Lord. And therefore I'm strong in those areas. Okay. Therefore, I'm not walking around with those weaknesses. I even have a husband now who doesn't have the same weaknesses that I have. And it was nothing but by the grace of God. But it's something that you could focus on. What are the areas that I lack, so that you're not picking up partners with the same deficiencies as you, or you're not picking up partners who give to the place that you're deficient and then you become like addicted to them. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when you're like 24, 23, 22, 21, all the way down there, girl, you become addicted. Okay, it's not like real love. It's like addiction. Like, he just, girl, he don't be doing nothing. He don't do nothing. He don't pay a bill. Like, he really doesn't do anything except flip you around the bed. And you just, and it's like, when you get older, you're like, man, I was just stupid. The only person who was just in here was me. I was just stupid. And I don't want you to be stupid. I know that's not a nice word, but I don't want you to be stupid. I want you to step back, take a look at the places that you lack. Have you figured out, like I said, how to function in that lack? Because let's say, even if you get married, it's not a good idea to then, you let the other person naturally pick up in the place that you're deficient. You don't demand that someone You don't demand it. Nobody owes you nothing. Not even your husband's gonna owe you nothing, okay? It'll be, look, it'll be to the glory of God that you get the things that you lack from your partner. But let's say that you don't. Are you gonna walk around angry and bitter and just nasty and just mean and just, girl, all these things just because you lack in the area, and you're walking around depressed because you haven't figured out a way to combat that lack? Okay, we all have areas that we're not strong. It'll be in your best interest to know yours. To know yours. We're not gonna talk about mine right now because you can probably pick them up. But it'll be in your best interest, honey. Yours. It'll be in your best interest to know yours. It'll be in your best interest to know yours, okay? And like I said, so you're not picking up a partner with the same deficiencies as you and then trying to make this thing work. Don't do it. Let's move on to the next thing. Before I move on to the next thing, did I mention that that's how you get mates, that you're afraid that they like to let them go? They're doing, like, they're knocking you upside your head. They're being totally destructive. And you got this boyfriend and you just don't want to let him go because you found a person. That's how it happens. I want to point that out there. You found a person who doesn't have the same or has the same deficiency as you, and you've become like addicted to this placeholder in your life and you're afraid to let them go. This is a person who, like I said, has not discovered that no, God can give me, God can fulfill this area right here. He actually is the only one who can. He can fulfill this area that I am weak. He can give me strength in this area. And I don't need nobody. Baby, if you choose to be leaving and sleeping and doing all that kind of stuff and knocking me upside my good head, you're about to go. You're about to leave out of here. The moment you need something, the moment that you need a man, the moment that you need somebody to do something, you really are in danger, and I just don't need them at all. You wouldn't need it at all, okay? Because what comes of it is you begin to totally depend. It's dangerous for you to totally depend on anyone that is not God. And I know, Tanzania, that sounds totally crazy. What do you mean? You don't even depend on your husband? I depend on God to move through my husband. My husband is still a man and I am still a woman. So my husband doesn't even need to depend on me. He needs to depend on the God that flows through me. And the moment that I decide to not follow Jesus anymore, the moment that I decide to not allow God to flow through me, he don't need to worry about me doing nothing, because in my own strength, I can't do it. Okay. So that goes kind of back to the first thing that I said, but I did want to point that out. Just know the areas that you're weak so that you don't find someone who's all rah, rah, rah. Oh, you so good. You so good. Somebody points out your deficiency. You're like, oh, you good because I knew this about me. And now you see this and you're not trying to like exploit it. I'm not talking about somebody trying to make you feel bad for the areas that you're deficient. No. You see what I see. Okay. Don't even try to tell me nothing that's not there. Okay, I never thought I was ugly before. You come over here talking about I'm ugly and now I'm thinking I'm ugly. No, I'm not talking about that. That's manipulation. I'm not talking about that. But you know what I mean? Like, I know that I'm a deficient in the area. Maybe I do lack confidence, okay? And you know this. And instead of you like using it against me, you find nice ways to boost my confidence. You know what I mean? But I too have found ways to do it by myself. You understand? That's a very, that's an easy explanation, but you can go deep with that as well. Like I said, there's some areas, honey, that you lack. Okay. You might have grew up motherless, fatherless. You might have grew up in foster care. You might have grown up, you might have been adopted. There might be some very deep wounds that have caused lack in your life. And the last thing you want is to pick somebody up along the way who manipulates that or who supplies that without you leaning on God for that supply, because he's the only one who can truly supply it. Let's move to the next. This is by far the biggest one. And the thing that honey, you know how much money I would have if I actually paid my own bills and not everybody else's before the age of 25 years old? A lot. Okay. I was one of those people that people would use for money, and then I will always end up like borrowing money from other people, and it just ended up being a whole mess. I was working like 3 jobs at one time, okay? One of them, which was paying me very good, I used to work for Marriott, and I was giving all of my money away to a man who wasn't even my man. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine giving your money to someone who wouldn't even give you a ride to the bus stop? totally insane. But at the end of the day, like I said, I didn't have someone teaching me this stuff like I'm sitting here telling you. So I want to tell you this, okay? Learn how to manage your own money and learn how to make your own money. Okay? Learn how to make your own money. Learn how to manage your own money. Am I saying that you need to buy a house? I'm not saying you need to buy a house. I live in an apartment now, and if I'm really honest with you, I'm really happy with it, okay? I'm not saying that you need to have a fancy car or anything like that. I'm not saying those things. I'm saying, what do you want to do with your money? Your money. What do you want to do with your money? Are you doing that? At the ripe, you don't have no kids? If you don't have no kids, and you're under 25 years old, what are you doing with your money? And if you're not paying bills, you're not building for yourself. You're not paying your bills on time. You got yourself a little credit card. You're paying your bills on time. You're preparing for a solid future that you don't need to be depending on. Some women are sitting here waiting for a man to come and pick them up on a white horse. And he actually will come and pick you up on a white horse and drag your tail right on behind him once he figures out that he's all you have. And I'm not saying, like I said, I've done videos for you guys. For those of us who are married, I think that it's a beautiful thing once it all comes together. But you're talking about before all of that, okay? Before all of that, I need you to learn how to make your own coins and manage your own coins. Learn how to take care of yourself. And I'm not talking about you think you need to be in Gucci and Louis and you're sleeping around with people. Imagine that. To get those things, your basic needs. How do you meet your basic needs? Figure out a way to do that. When you figure out how to meet your basic needs, girl, you add little things in, like a little press-on nail, or you go get your nails done. I used to love to get my nails done, or you can go get your toes done. You can get your little hair braided. Choose something in there. Like, slowly begin to learn to manage your money. I'm not saying that you have to make a bunch of money, but don't be making your money and just trying to spend it all on the latest and greatest, and you don't have any stability. You're still doing things like calling your mama or calling your daddy or calling even the man that's not your man, right? To help you pay bills that you actually could have paid if you didn't buy all the dresses that you saw everybody else had on from Shein. Okay, I don't want that to be you. I don't want that to be you. It might have been me. Because when I tell you I had a good job, not only did I have a good job, but I got the GI benefits from my dad, right? My dad was in the military. I got the GI benefits. Girl, I had all kind of money, and I was being stupid. I was spending all kind of money on all kind of stuff, and by the time I turned 23 years old, I had nothing to show for it. Nothing. Not a full paid off car, nothing. Not bills paid on time, nothing. Nothing to show for, and I don't want it to be you. There's a lot of things that you can focus on when you're younger that doesn't have anything to do with a man. Okay, it doesn't have anything to do with a man. That has a lot to do with the stability of you and your future. Okay, and think about it, your future children. As always, if you have a question, ask a question, and I'll see you in the next video.